Meditations from the mat. Okay. Beginner book about yoga, some of the philosophies. Fabulous. This is, I don't know why. It made it really small this morning. Harder to see you. So anyway, Meditations from the Mat by Rolf Gates. You can see it's well read. It's just a really great overview of some of the yoga sutras, some of the things that I talk about in class. Just people have asked me again, and I know that that's upside down. Okay, we're going to just go over quickly a couple of the blocks or a couple of the props that you can use. You don't need a mat, but you're welcome to have one if you do. You won't get up and down on the mats a ton. Racquetball. Okay. Yoga blocks. You know that I usually have two handy. This morning I've got a strap, a yoga strap. These are specifically designed for yoga. They're not stretchy like the green over there. I love these for sitting. They do have a tail. They're used on all sorts of things. You can make the loop as big as you need to. I love them in restorative poses. This morning, I just realized I wore the same color tights as, this, and sitting up on the edge of your chair, maybe tightening this just a little bit so that you have to push into something. It's one of the very best things for SI pain. Your sacroiliac pain in the back, right there on the inside of your hip. That joint is kind of more of a hinge joint like this, but we tend to do this with it as we lift and move our hips and stuff, and sometimes that joint gets overused and then you'll get nerve pinched inside and that will cause pain. This is one of the best things because as you push into that, I'm pushing outward, right? As I push outward on that and move my feet so that they're right below the knees, not wider, right below the knees. And as I push wide into that, then it will also go wide in the hips and create some space in that joint. So if you've got some of that pain, okay, if you've got other areas, please message me. Most of you have my contact info that are doing this, okay? So you're welcome to message me. We're on Instagram this morning and Facebook, but you can always find me at Debbie Arnell on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Debbie Arnell. Yoga for Everybody. I record these every time I make them. So with that said, go ahead and close your eyes, sitting up on the edge of your chair. Take some deep breaths, letting that breath just wash over your body. Feel the peace that starts to kind of settle upon you as you slow down and breathe. So one of the things that I've noticed over the years is when I'm just anxious and I'm gotta get this done right now, and I move that in that manner, I almost always have an accident. I drop something and make a big mess. I'll cut my finger if I'm working with nuts. There's just all sorts, but the minute I'll stop and I'll find that breath and I'll realize, I got this, right? I can do this. It's such a fabulous tool that we have that we can use. Okay, so as we practice today, as we move our body, we're going to try to keep that breath because it's just this amazing thing, right? That as we move, with our breath, our movement becomes meticulous. Our awareness, our ability um, to to focus not only on what we're doing, but all the way around it, like broadens our ability inside our mind. It's like blowing our mind. So, best analogy I heard from Michael Wilcox years ago was this idea of you go into an attic to clean it, and you've got just a little pen light, and you can only clean a little bit at a time. And then if you go in with a bigger flashlight, you're like, whoa, I missed a lot. I can see a lot more. If we go in with a massive spotlight, right, or even turn on a light, then we can see even more. That's what this breath does for us. It does that for our mind. It's like a way to clear out the cobwebs, to pause and decide on which thoughts you want to have, not on which ones you're having. And then we recognize the looping, right? The same thought that keeps going over and over and over. And it's not that we want to set it aside and just focus here and not focus on that. No, we want to bring that in and see it in this new light, this new place of calm and peace. And then we can actually go, oh, that's a problem I can solve, or it's a problem I can just put away, or there's just a peace that comes as you go through. So, as life is like that, okay, find this breath. It's with us 24/7. It's always here. Go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. Take a couple of deep breaths still. Go ahead and push. If you've got a strap on, great. If you haven't worn one, that's fine. Just push gently out, but not letting the knees move wide. That's what this prevents. This prevents the knees from falling open. So if you want, you can do the same thing. You just have to imagine the straps there. Now you might think that's a little funky and weird. We do it all the time. Okay? We always want to have this pushback, this a little bit of a resistance. If everything is hunky dory all the time and there's no pushback, we don't learn. We learn from what happens when we push back. And we're going to do one round of Om. Now, this might be something brand new for you. If it is, just listen. You don't have to do it. Okay, and it's an ah, oo, sound. 3 different syllables. Ah, oo, Inhale deeply. Exhale, H-A, ha. Try that again. Great way to release tension. Inhale. Nicely done. Inhale to Om. It helps clear out the throat. There are other benefits to it. You know how sometimes in the morning you have to go clear out. The Om will help that happen. You can do any sound. I've mentioned this before. Go ahead and bring the hands down and blink open the eyes. Good morning. So I always try to start with a centering practice. So we'll always do that. A place where we come here so that we can remind ourselves, okay, right now, I'm just here. So there's nothing wrong with bringing our trials, our stuff we're working on here, okay? But when I ask you to stay here present, I want you to be here, right? Not doing over there and just moving blindly. Okay. So we would do numbers of different things. Okay. Go ahead and you can take that off if you've got that on. That's a great way to just warm up the hips because they just sometimes need stretching this way wider. Okay. Um, I have still got my socks on. It's a little nippy. We did this in March during COVID, right? Or when we came downstairs, and we're all in this fleece and this warming up. And okay, so grab the. Let me move this out of the way so you can actually see it better. Okay, it's underneath my foot. We're just gonna roll. You're looking for places that are tender, and then you're just going to stay there and breathe. Okay. Each place on your foot, I'm kind of excited. I've actually decided to do a foot zoning certification starting in, I think it's starting in November. Okay. So as you do this, go ahead and just find those different places. Um, yeah. Close your eyes and feel what's going on with the ball. Take some breaths. Feel your breath. I'm not finding any really sore, tight places today. That's kind of cool. Go ahead and, okay, so we find that's one of the first things is just to find a place and kind of stay there, right? Okay, then put the heel down and you're just going to, we call it shearing. It goes side to side. Okay. Let's see, I think you can see me better back actually. Scoot you back even a little further. Go all the way to the wall. There you go. And so it's here, right? This slide back and forth. And then you're also going to put the foot, the ball of the foot down and go back and forth sideways here. And then switch to the other side and find, oh, there's a little tender place. Yeah, just find those spots. Breathing deep. Notice I'm still breathing. So sometimes what we tend to do, right, when we're doing something brand new, is we stop breathing. Not a very good thing. Not very beneficial. Yeah, that I got a little on that inner arch there, just a little bit of tenderness. Stay there and just breathe with it. Okay. And then heel down and shear across the ball of the foot. Beautiful. Amazing feet. So sensational. Okay. So carry us through our day. I'm so grateful. Ball of the foot down and roll through the heel. Now that one, I hardly ever feel anything there. Beautifully done. So you have options with these, and I want to go over those. So go ahead and put a block down just so you can get your foot up a little higher. You're going to roll across each toe, lengthening. So on this other foot, about a year, gosh, has it been a year? It was a year ago, right about this time, I broke my toe. I was just heading down to teach, to do a yoga retreat in Zion in the park. We rent a house. It's the most fun ever. And we're going down next week. I'm so excited. So as we do this, okay, it helps break up if you've got some scar tissue, maybe up in these joints, a little bit of arthritis. Movement is good for arthritis, right? And so we're just kind of creating some of that extra movement. Okay, you'll find if you just pause that there's a tingle that goes down through. Go ahead and shift to the other side. Now on this one, I will spend more time on this this fourth toe. It's finally not like a big sausage, but it's still not. There's sometimes a year later that I can still feel. So I'll spend some time right here, and I do try to do this once a week. Um, I used to do it more, but I don't feel much pain there now. Okay, maybe if I've done a really aggressive where I've been up on my toes a lot, I will feel it. This increases energy, right? It increases blood flow to your toes. If you've got an issue with some neuropathy, okay, it's fabulous. There's also some stuff you can roll up in here to help, okay? So if you want to reach out, if you've got some neuropathy, you can totally. Now, um, you're not gonna be able to see this against my pants, but I'm the same thing. Okay, I've got a couple of places where I've taken falls where I've got some soreness. Okay, one of the things I've noticed, my mom has some arthritis in her hands, and I remember she started with it early. Okay, this will benefit that. So I'm on to some of my knuckles. So maybe you've got some of those places in your body that are tight, right? Um, then find, yeah, and it might, you can even take it and do it this way. For me, that one is tender always. Okay, there's a little piece. There's a little hook of bone that's kind of broken off. It doesn't bother my movement. Sometimes it just aches. Okay. One of the other things I've noticed is there's a tightness here, and I wondered if that was a little bit of the arthritis that my mom suffered. And so I am rolling my knuckles as well. A lot of people tell me, they say, well, it's just such a simple thing to do. I know. Okay. Moving our body gently, continuously, finding sore places and working through those are some of the very best things we can do to keep our body moving pain free or minimal pain or lessened pain. Okay? Our bodies are meant to move. If you just pause, right, the hand you've just rubbed is tingling. Okay? And go ahead, let's do the other side. So both of my thumb joints, um, there is no such thing as double jointed. I learned that when I started working with anatomy and professors. But there are overextending of joints. It isn't a real good thing to be able to do. And my thumbs can do it. They can tuck all the way in and not be there. So I think that there's probably a little bit of maybe inflammation there. That's what arthritis is in that joint. Okay. I've also still got, you can't probably see it, but from a summer rope swing activity, a little bit, but it's coming down, and I can move it with, I can move it rather than not being able to move it right now. Okay, so find that. You go, oh, I don't have time to do that. Okay, this has taken us maybe 5 minutes to roll our feet and our hands. Okay, we're worth it. Okay, you know that squeezing the ball is beneficial. Okay, that helps for our strength, right? But this helps with our ability to be able to move dexterity. So this class is designed different techniques, different ways of moving our bodies, right? Using our bodies so that we don't lose the ability to use them. Okay. You're welcome. You can do this. I take these in the car and sit on them. And because sometimes when we're sitting in the car, right? And I'll just, even if I'm driving, I can do this kind of movement and get some increased blood flow. You can come back on your chair. You can sit them on here. These are fabulous. Okay. Now, anytime you shear, remember we did that on our foot, moving it side to side is when you're going side to side on your muscle. After I've been hiking, after I've been really active, I'll get and take a whole hour and I'll roll every part of my body with this, and then I've got a bigger ball as well. And it's a fabulous opportunity. Okay. And so I suggest that you take that. You're worth it. Your body and the ability to have it move is worth it. Okay. If you've got it up in your shoulders and you go, I can't reach my shoulders, put this little ball in it's a trouser sock or a knee-high nylon and flip it over and roll it. That's the way I keep them in my car so that I can roll my shoulders while I'm driving. Yeah, it's fabulous. All righty. Now let's do some work. Go ahead and put the block this way between your ankles and up into your shins. Okay. Squeeze the block with your ankles, but don't let your knees aren't knocking, which the block kind of prevents it. Okay. Squeeze that in. Just hug it in. We rarely use our ankles to hug in. As you hug in, start to notice what you feel in your legs. They're engaged. Your sit bones, your glutes. You can actually even feel it as I squeeze in. I feel a desire to, instead of hugging down like this, to kind of sit up, and I can actually feel that squeeze clear up into my belly button. So take it and add to it. So what that means is as I squeeze the block, as I squeeze it, I'm also holding my belly in. Close your eyes and breathe. And then release. So those two things, we pushed into the strap, we hugged in. They're oppositional movements, aren't they? Okay. Our body needs to be, if you're not able to move a lot, then those kind of movements are really beneficial. All righty. So let's work on our feet a little bit more. Okay. Come up onto your toes. You can move them back a little, but don't, because that'll hurt your knee. It can hurt your knees because it's a smaller angle than a right angle. But if you're up here, it's fine. Come all the way up on your toes. I want you to lean forward with your elbows and put some weight into your feet. Your all 10 toes are turned under, facing this way. Okay. That may be something that you don't feel very often. We're putting a little bit more weight on it by leaning forward. Feel your calf muscles, feel your ankles. This is one of the best things to strengthen the ankle. Push down on the inner edge of the ball of the foot, right, and the outer edge. So it's like you're pushing down. Now, push down harder on this leg. Push down harder on this leg. So it's almost like you are walking on just your toes, okay? Walking and pushing and finding that range of motion, that push down and then release, okay? Notice your toes, notice your ankles, and then go ahead and just roll through those ankles. Both directions. And second side, both directions. Okay, let's do our hips. Take them out to the side. Okay. Now, if that's painful, okay, then see if here might ease it a little bit, or don't take it quite so far. As we're wide here, put your hands here, lengthen your, I can straighten my elbows because I've got a long body, okay? So you can keep a little bend, pull the shoulders back, you're gonna lean forward, okay? That'll get into your inner thighs. Lean forward, come back up, lean forward. Now you'll notice my legs aren't doing this. Yeah, I'm holding them still. Push down into the entire foot. Lean forward and come back. Lean forward. You're also going to notice that I'm not doing this. Head lean forward. Head back up. Head lean. Yeah, it's a hinge at the hip. My whole body. It's like I'm trying to reach something on the floor and back up. Reach something on the floor, push down into those legs and back up. Okay. I've had some specific things people have asked me about. This is one that will really help strengthen the inner thigh. Okay, but you have to push down into your feet, not on your knees, but into your feet, with your feet. The minute you do that, you engage some muscle. Okay, and then pull it in. Beautifully done. Let's do some gentle hip circles. Okay. If this hurts, don't do them. Maybe you can just do this. Okay. That's still creating range of motion. Go ahead and roll through those hips. And we're going to go both directions, right? So one and then the other. I don't know if you've got the same thing. I've got a hip that goes pop, 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 pop. Okay. And one more time that way and reverse it and pause, and you'll feel the muscles have worked. You'll feel a tingle. You'll feel a warmth. Okay. That is what we're looking for all the way through the body. Okay. Second side, hip circles. Okay. Notice this leg may move. It's okay while you're doing this one. Okay. So create some circles going one direction. Again, if this hurts on one side, you're just here. You're opening and you're closing. You're moving with your breath. You're not holding your breath, right? Go ahead and reverse that circle. You guys did that for a long time. Go ahead and reverse it again. Notice, which way causes those muscles to have to work. There you go. Beautiful. And pause. Close your eyes. Notice how often I ask you to notice. Take some deep breaths. Beautifully done. Let's do our shoulders. Roll them up and back and down. And 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 reverse that. Go back, up and forward. And back and up and forward. They still come down too. Back and forward. And back and up and forward. Back and up. Beautifully done. Take one up and then the other. Down and up. Yeah. Notice oftentimes the movement that hurts our shoulder is the lift of the arm. We're not even lifting yet. We might, right? We want to be able to do that. But this, okay, and then pause, and you're going to feel right here on the back and maybe right here in the fore that you've worked those muscles. Round and go forward, pull it back, round forward, pull it back, round forward, pull it back. This is shoulders, but it's also spine. Let me do this from this vantage point, right? So I'm round. This is round back. This is pull forward. My shoulders are moving often on the back. Okay, the shoulder blade is here and it pulls. This is pulling off the back. That means the back is going back there and the shoulder's sliding forward. Okay, and then here the shoulder blade's coming together. So back and forward and back. This is also getting into the back, right? Okay, more often than not, we sit like this. I've been working on some baby quilts. I'm behind on some grandbaby quilts. So I've been working on them, and I find that as I'm at the machine, right, I'm here, and I have to remind myself, okay, let's do some side stuff. Let's start with the neck. Here and up, and here and up. Look and look. Here we go. Ear to shoulder up, ear to shoulder up. Look over and back, look over and back. We're going to add on here, down, here, and up. Look that way and that way. And then here and down and here and up. Look that way. If you're confused, it's okay. Here and down and here and up. Look this way and that way. Here we go. Here and down, here and up. Look this way and that way. And then go ahead as if you've got this racquetball. You don't have to have it here, but as if you're coming up and over and holding it there. You don't have to have it there, but that's the feel. And pull down. We're never going to take weight onto the here to help pull us down, but we can push our head down. Pull the shoulders away from that. You'll get this fabulous stretch of the muscle we just used. And come back up. So there's often times that we will stretch, right? We'll move and then we'll stretch it out. So this is a fabulous shoulder exercise, okay? It's part of eagle pose. Arms out to the side. One arm's going to cross under, okay? That may be difficult for you to get. If that's the case, perfect. Bend the elbows and try to squeeze the hands back together. You'll feel a stretch on the outside of the elbows, okay? You do want to try to lift the elbows and then move the hands, okay? So if that is pretty easy for you, maybe you can wrap it up. Now, I see this a lot. If you can't reach those wrists long, then you're not. Okay, elbows come up, but hands move away from the face, and then pull the shoulder blades down. It's not my elbow. My elbows move because the shoulder blades pull. Okay, so let's go through that again from the side. One arm comes under the other, wrapping up. Okay, if you can, you're just here. If not, you're here. Okay, elbows up. That puts a strain or a stretch on the shoulder. Holding hands away from the face, and I'm not going with it. They're going away. Then I'm holding my shoulder blades down. Okay, breathing deeply, finding that stretch. Breathe to that stretch. Now, there's a movement that can happen here, okay? Open it up, a little bit of a back bend, curl it and round. You'll feel a stretch down through the spine. Inhale up, exhale round. One more. Inhale up and exhale round. And inhale up. Don't slingshot out. Release your hands. If you're here, just release and release and slowly unwind, okay? That's really very beneficial for both shoulders. We got to do the other side. Okay, up, cross it over, wherever you need it. Elbows up, hands are away from the face, and then the shoulders pull down, okay? This time, instead of forward and back, let's go side to side with the head. You're going to feel that stretch on the neck. And I actually lied. We need to do the forward and back. Okay, so round. Elbows towards the navel. Shoulders lift up. I'm still pulling the shoulders down. So it's not lift the shoulders up like that. It means I'm pulling them back up into a straight spine. Curl the spine. Straight spine. Curl and straight. Yeah, release. Release. And breathe. And then notice your shoulders. Beautifully done. Okay. So, we've talked about the stretchy straps. Okay. If you've got one that loops, you can use that and just fine. I get these in bulk and cut them myself because I love to have the length that you can use. Okay. So we're going to do some bicep, tricep work. Put it down underneath your foot and grab. Okay. My arms are straight, But I'm not going clear down here. I'm just going to where that strap pulls and I can sit up. I'm still straight up, right? I'm sitting on the edge of my chair. Okay. You are just going to pull back and back down. Pull back and back down. Pull back. My elbows are going back. Now, I want you to notice yours. Do they go here? That's not what we're working right now, okay? That does work some muscle, okay? But we're pulling straight back. It's like they brush alongside the body. Pull straight back. And I'm pulling my shoulder blades together and away. Together and away. Together and away. Yeah. There you go. Keep going. Breathe. Beautifully done. And then release. Okay. Change sides. Now, some of you may say, well, you don't really need to change sides. It's the same movement. It'll be amazing what happens to the leg. Okay. We do everything in this class. Back and forward. Notice one side may feel better than the other. Back, shoulders stay back. Head is lifted. You don't have to watch this once you start it. You might have to look down to make sure you're all right, and then you just can move. Close your eyes. Breathe deep. Feel your body. Beautifully done. And release. Okay. And you'll feel, you felt this a little. You've also felt it into the shoulder blades, which is fabulous. Okay. Triceps are the hardest, especially if getting up and down out of the chair, getting up and down off the floor is difficult. Okay. So we're going to take this strap and we're going to take it behind our body. Okay. Here. You can have a little bend in your elbow. In fact, I prefer that because if my arm is straight, can you see the top of his head? But if I'll bend my elbow, I can roll that back. Okay, so keep it here, and you're just going to pull it a little wide and just these little lifts. Just right into the tricep. The tendency is the head to go forward. Please move it back. Notice that everything we do, we really don't hold much. As we age, the moving in and out with our breath. Also notice your breath. It's real easy to hold it here. Inhale. And exhale. Just hold that still. And now you're just going to bend and straighten your elbow. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Oh, we feel that one, don't we? And straighten and release. Roll through those shoulders. Okay. Beautifully done. So as I sit and pause and just close my eyes and feel my way through the body, I notice that, okay, my back, my shoulders, I feel that I've worked my legs, okay, and you just feel pretty good. So we're going to actually add in some sun salutations. Okay, yes, in a seat. Inhale, the arms will go up. Exhale, hinge. That same forward hinge. Hands come to the thigh. Okay. Take another inhale here, and then exhale, round it. Curl back. It looks like this. The hinge is here. The curl back is here. The hinge is here, right? The curl back is here. And then you can also come up and you can come back down and you can reach. Okay, so you can go both directions, but know the difference between, we call it a neutral spine. We used to call it a flat back, but we don't really want a flat back because I want a little bit of a curl here and here in my low back and my neck because naturally they have one. So I want a hinge with a natural spine and I want a curved spine. Okay. The other option is a back bend. I will say back bend. Okay. Back bend is when the spine, yes, curls back. So we have a curl forward, we have a neutral spine, we have a back bend. Okay? We're going to find all of those in this next little sequence. Go ahead and inhale the arms up. Exhale, neutral spine. Hands come down. Take another inhale and round it back. Inhale, come all the way back to a neutral spine. Grab hold of the chair. Shoulders up, elbows bent. Sorry, I've got laundry. Open through the heart. There's a back bend. That may be small for you. It's okay. Find that the sternum is what's lifting up because the shoulders are pulling back. Okay? Find that action. Open. Come back to neutral. Here we go again. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge. Hands on the thighs, curl it back. Unwind. And you can lift up here if you want again. Hands here, elbows bent. Pull it open, little back bend. And release. Let's do two more. Inhale up. Hinge. Hands on the thigh. Inhale. Exhale, curl back. Inhale, unwind. The arms can come back up if you can. Maybe they're here. That's a great place for them. Hands here, bend the elbow. Open the heart. And come back. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge. Hands here. Inhale. Exhale, curl back. Inhale, unwind. Arms can come up. Take them behind you. Hold on to your chair. Open the heart. A little bit of a back bend. And come back to center. Okay, beautifully done. Let's take some twists and side bends. Hands here. Come up and go over. And over. Now, if you can't get your hand all the way up, you're welcome here. If you can't even get if you've got an injury that's in your shoulder, notice I'm not doing this. Okay? They are staying still. If you happen to need a little bit more, that will help you. Or even here will help you. By squeezing that block, you're doing side work, okay? Now, you might think, oh, Debbie, it's my hip that hurts. I need to work on my hip. No, you need to work on your whole body. Now, we're going to do something a little different. We've never done this on everybody, okay? You're going to go one direction, round it forward, come to the other direction a little bit back. Try it again. To the side, round it forward, to the other side, curl it back. Okay, come back to center. Let's do two that way. Open it up, curl it over, round it to the other side, and up. Again, to the side, round it forward, to the side, even a little back, and bring it up. Okay, fabulous work. Inhale up. One hand either to the block, to the thigh, the other hand here. The most important thing, don't stay with this shoulder rolled forward. You can look down and see it. We want it up and back. We want it this stretch through the pectoralis muscles, okay? So holding on to that, twist, and come back to center. Here we go. Shoulders on the back. You can lift an arm up and take it. This one comes across. I'm not letting my knees move, okay? I'm moving my body around. And come back to center. 5 each side. Here we go. Hands can come up or hands can just go over. You get to choose. Inhale up. I'll do some of both. Exhale, twist. Take a whole breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And release. Try not to slingshot out. Inhale. And exhale. Twist. Take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And release. 3 more. Up. And here. And twist. Notice that little extra twist. It's in the waistline and the rib cage. We don't do that much as we age. Inhale and exhale. This is so beneficial down across the top of our hips. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale and come back to center. Inhale and exhale. Twist. Inhale, hold and exhale. Back to center. Inhale and exhale and twist. Inhale and exhale and back to center. One more. Inhale and exhale and twist. Inhale and exhale. Pause. Inhale and exhale. Twist. Yeah. Inhale and exhale. Release and come back to center. Okay. Beautifully done. So we do get out of our chair. So if it's difficult for you to get up, I won't make you get up and down more than once. But if it's difficult to get out of the chair, then I would practice it because it's using leg muscles, okay? So go ahead. We'll turn our chair to the side. Down dog, right? Oh, yeah, stretch. You can totally keep a bend in your knee. I'm looking for, can you see how my head's sticking up? Yeah, that's not a neutral spine, is it? That would be like me standing up and going like this. Yeah, we don't want that, really. We want to be able to do that, but not hold it there. So take it back, lengthen the spine. See if you can get the head, the ears to brush the arms. Reach the hips back. So really going for that length. Bend your knees and then come back in and come to a neutral spine. Okay, we're going to do that 10 times. Step it back. Lengthen. And come back in. Yeah, here we go. Inhale, extend. We're taking a breath here, right? So inhale and exhale. And come back. I'm hoping, and if you've got I know you have a mirror in your bathroom. Everybody has that. Okay. Notice, go under the counter, right? And notice when you go back, are you here? Okay, is it this? Because that's not stretching the spine. I mean, it does, but it's not getting into the hips. So you really want to bend the knees and you're trying to come back to that neutral spine, right? And walk it back in. Now, you can do this, and I would suggest doing this throughout the day, right? You're at the kitchen sink, okay? You've been there for an hour or so working. Then step back and stretch and come back up and do that a few times. Here we go. This is number 5. Reach. Let your body have the opportunity to go long. It feels so fabulous. 2 more. Last one. Beautifully done. Okay, so we're coming to the end of class. We've done an awful lot. There are some of you that moving is easier than for others. Okay, we're all in a different place, all of us. So for some of you that have a little more flexibility, okay, I would turn the chair around and I would do it this way. Come down even a little lower. This is very much like a forward fold, but you're coming down and you can totally be here, okay? That's going to be a little deeper, but you're welcome to do that. And you can stay here longer than one breath, but make sure while you're there that you're breathing. That's the most important thing, okay? So if you want to, that total thing, notice it just brings you a little deeper. It's a bigger stretch on the hamstring. It's lengthening much more in this sacrum. If you can't do that, then you're staying here, right, on this part of the chair. Okay, so that's an option that you can always have, and you're welcome to add any options if you can go a little further. Okay, I wanted to do one more thing, and you can just do this standing. Okay, most of you probably are already up. Goalpost the arms. Okay, and I want you to feel as if you're walking through a door and the arms get stuck on the door. Okay, step 1 foot forward. The elbows, notice they're not here, they're down a little bit. Pull the elbows towards the waistline without moving them. So they just stay there. And then walk yourself through that doorway. Okay, tuck the chin and then lift the chin and then look up. Take a deep inhale and release. Back bending is something, and that is just creating a bend. I'll do it from the side as well. Here we go, right? I'm going through the door and my arms are stuck. I'm stepping forward. I'm pulling back. This is where we spend most of our time with our head. And then we're going to move it to here. And then we're going to lift the chin and let that heart lead forward and release. It's a fabulous stretch for all along here. It works the back really well. That back, okay, that kyphosis, that kind of a curl forward is what we're trying to avoid. All righty. So you are welcome to get on the floor. I've been struggling a little bit with vertigo. Don't ask me. I don't quite know where it came from. So I'm going to do twists from the chair. Some of you are like, yeah, I don't want to get down on the floor. Totally fine. Okay. So if you're on the floor, it's windshield wipers, okay? And you're just going like this. My back's on the floor, my knees are bent, right? If you're in a chair, you're actually going to walk the feet, stay forward, and walk the feet back. And inhale and walk the feet and walk the feet back. Make sure that you do a few of these. As we close. Yeah. Come to the edge of your chair. Lengthen the body up. Close your eyes. And then take your block. You can use a pillow. You can use 2 blocks. So if you want, you're welcome to stay here. You're welcome to be on the floor, okay? Hands on the block. Chest on the block. Let the head hang, okay? Maybe you just need 1 block. Maybe you don't need any blocks. We're letting the spine, for the first time, just really relax. And adjust. Maybe you need more. Take some deep breaths. So I am going to show you how to do that on the floor. I know that I've got some new people on today. So, okay. So when you're on the floor, okay, if you're using a blanket, let me show you that one. Okay, you're going to take the blanket. You want to make sure there's no wrinkles or folds. So you smooth that out, right? And then you want to roll just enough to go underneath your neck. Now, some of you have a little bit that you need a little more, okay? Your head goes here, your neck's here, your body's here, right? So back down we go. Adapt that blanket so it's right underneath your neck. Arms out to the side, palms face up, and you're just side to side with your knees. I got a little spinning going on here, but it eases. Turn your head side to side. I probably will not today. And then find your way into Shavasana. Okay, if you find that that is not comfortable, grab pillows for underneath your knee. Take your feet wide and knock your knees. That'll relax your spine. Take some deep breaths. Again, letting yourself pause. Sometimes pausing is the last thing we do, even if we're lying down and we're reading. That isn't pausing. There's a quietness. I'm going to include in the show notes, or just in the notes here, a link to my new favorite meditation app. It is Christian oriented. Refill my soul. We need these pause moments. We need to move our body, no question. But we also need to pause our mind. You're welcome to stay here. I am going to show you, you can watch it later if you want, how to get up from down, because sometimes that's the biggest exercise of all. Go ahead and just turn onto the side. Use your hands to push. Let your head just hang, right? This is a great way to get up if you've got vertigo too. Hand on a chair, come to your knees. Okay, one knee up at a time. Come back to your seat. You're welcome to stay on the ground through all of that. Okay. Take some time today. Okay, you've already done it if you've done any of this work. To feel such a sense of gratitude for what your body can do. Most times when we exercise, we do just the opposite. Okay. Have a wonderful day.